Hi guys, it's Kelly. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm super excited to share some fragrances with you today. And if you're a returning subscriber, I know I've been absent, we're gonna talk about it. Really the focus of today's video is some warm weather fall fragrances that you can wear. So the inspiration for this video today is because I live in Central Texas. It's still 100 degrees out, even though everyone else is moving into like colder months, it seems. We're seeing a lot of videos about, gourmandy, kind of boozy, spicy, comforting fragrances, which I'm super excited about. But the reality for a lot of us is that it still feels like summer and we're still sweating our butts off every day. So I wanted to feature some fragrances today that are kind of like a last hurrah warm weather fragrance. These are fragrances that you can wear in the month of September, October when the weather is still warm. I'm also going to be sharing with you at the end of this video a new layering tool that I've discovered that I'm super excited to share with you guys as well. So before we dive into today's video, if this is your first time here, go ahead and say hey in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from, where in the world you are, and yeah, if you have any comments on the fragrances that I share, I would love to hear from you about that. Before we dive into the fragrances, I just want to kind of give you guys a life update as to where I've been, because I know I disappeared for a long time and then I came back, did a couple videos and disappeared again. So I wanted to share with you guys what's been going on in my life. First of all, I went to Vegas in July for my business for a huge convention and it was incredible, but like totally full on, just kind of zapped my energy. And then came back in August, kind of initiated like another rogue rescue. If you're new to my channel, we tend to rescue dogs and we're always trying to help dogs in need. It's a huge value of ours. It's a huge passion. Like our 5 to 10 year plan is to actually run a sanctuary out in hill country and just help save as many dogs as possible. So we had a random dog show up in our life and kind of, I sort of hyper focused on trying to save this dog and it's still in process to be continued. But then after that, I went up to Maine for my annual trip with my family, which was amazing. But when I got home, like literally the night I got home, I got sick with COVID for the first time. I went 3.5 years without getting it. And it finally got me, and it got me good. This was literally the end of August, beginning of September. And as you can hear in my voice, I'm still sick. So what ended up happening is I got COVID, which was not great. Like it was not an easy ride for me. It wasn't the worst. But what got really bad was that because of the COVID, I got pneumonia. And that was the thing that really knocked me down. I went like a whole week without being able to talk. I didn't eat for a week. I lost like 20 pounds, which is not good because I was already thin. Couldn't sleep for a while. I literally was struggling. Like I don't really get sick as an adult. I have a really healthy immune system. And this was the first time, I'm 41 years old. This was the first time as an adult that I was like, am I okay? Like I really didn't feel good. I legit felt like I was fighting for my life. It was scary. And I'm so grateful that, I have Ian here and that I've got such a great support network. Had a great acupuncturist, a great doctor, and was able to like get the support that I needed. But I'm still kind of clamoring my way out of it. I can't really smell. I can kind of smell and taste, but it's not back to where I want it to be, which obviously is really trying when you're so obsessed with fragrances. But today I was just like, you know what? I need to film a video. I miss filming videos. I want to talk about these fragrances. It's okay if my voice sounds clunky. It's okay if I can't fully smell everything. Let's just do this. And I'm excited to be back. So without further ado, let's jump in. The very first fragrance that I want to talk to you guys about today is by the House of Bo, and it's called Lamar. I got this from my Scentbird subscription. And I'm not going to actually read off the notes. I will list them on the side here. Just going to do like a quick little sniff from what I can smell. I've obviously smelled all these fragrances before. I carefully curated this list. So none of these are new to me. This one is not actually going to stay in my collection. I am going to get rid of this because it just doesn't stay on me. It doesn't last. And for some people love skin scents. If you love a good beachy skin scent, this will be perfect for you. I personally prefer beast mode projectors. That's just my style. I like to fill up a room when I walk in. I like to choke people out. So this does not do that. However, I did bring this to Maine and I wore it a couple of the days on the beach, which was a really beautiful scent on the beach. So let's give this a sniff and hopefully I can smell everything. Yeah, so this is a really pretty beachy, salty, somewhat solar floral fragrance. I can't remember the florals in here, but they're very beautiful, very delicate, very very subtle. The smell that I get from this is very much the smell of your skin after a long day at the beach, where you can literally smell the ocean on your skin, mixed in with a little bit of like residual suntan lotion. Yeah, this smells like my mother in the 80s when she would get out of the ocean. It's such a comforting smell. I wish it projected more. Yeah, this is absolutely beautiful. It has that very subtle solar kind of golden suntanny, slightly floral feel. I feel like this is an elevated version of Beach Walk. Oh yeah, it's really beautiful, you guys. Like if the projection was better, I would give this a 10 out of 10. But again, that's a personal preference. I know some people really like skin scents. Yeah, but this is beautiful. I'm really excited to explore this house more. I actually have I think it's called Infinite Oud coming up in my Scentbird subscription for this month, and it should get here in the next week or so, and I'm really excited. Yeah, just to dive more into this house. This is a gorgeous fragrance. You guys, highly recommend it. Okay, next up, we've got one that personally is not for me. However, I'm including it in the list because I know there's some of you out there that really enjoy the skank. You like the skanky animalic fragrances. I like this sort of indolic jasmine vibe. I can get down with the skank once in a while, but when it starts to go into kind of like a feline, kind of fecal direction, either one of those directions, that's kind of where I tap out. And this is what that fragrance does for me. However, if you enjoy that, you might want to check this out. So this is Rose Exaltante by Mizensir, which honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the house. I'm trying. I like Sweet Praline. I need to spend a little bit more time with For Your Love and Treasure. But yeah, so this starts off at the top with a very sharp, pungent rose. There's potentially some oud in here, maybe in the background. This is waking up my sense of smell. It's very like old kind of vintagey rose at the top. And then it just has this skank. It's kind of like a sweaty armpit skank that creeps in. It does kind of have like that fecal thing. It's very animalic. Like I said, if you're into that, you may want to check this out because the rose is really beautiful. And I feel like in comparison to other Mizensir fragrances, I feel like this would probably be a little bit more beastie. I don't know about you guys, but on me, a lot of the Mizensir fragrances, again, they just wear a little bit too close to the skin. I love things to really, I want like a long sillage, I want projection. This, I think, would outperform some of the others from the Mizensir line that I've tried. So if you like skanky rose, give this a shot. You might like it. Okay, moving on. We have a very popular fragrance that has taken me a couple of years to come around to, and I'm still not 100% there. However, I recognize that this is very popular for a reason. It's a beautiful fragrance. This is none other than Ex Nihilo's Lust in Paradise. This is like my third decant of this. I just can't figure out what I feel about this, so I just keep getting decants. But this is going to be like a very juicy, floral, like punch in the face. It's very sweet. It's very floral. It's very feminine. It's very summery. I think that there's lychee in here. I think that there's freesia. I can't remember exactly what the florals are. But this is kind of going to be along the same lines of Lust for Sun. If you've tried that one yet, that one's a really good one. I just tried it for the first time. I love it. It's going to be like that, but a little bit more tart. It's got this like, I don't know if it's rhubarb, but a similar sort of rhubarby tangy kick, just like Delina has. It has that like that tart kind of crispness to it. Not in like an apple or pear way, but sort of in like a tropical fruit kind of way. This is a hit for a reason. I think the reason for me why I don't necessarily call this a 10 out of 10 fragrance for me personally is that there's something that resembles, I don't know if it is a freesia note or if it resembles it. Back in 8th grade, I was experimenting with smoking cigarettes with my friend Jasmine, who lived across the street. We would go up onto her roof. Her bedroom was in the attic. We'd climb out onto the roof and we'd smoke cigarettes. And to cover it up, we would wear this like Bath and Body Works. It was like a freesia or not freesia. It was like a sea something. It was something from Bath and Body Works that smelled like freesia. And I don't know if I got sick from smoking one time or what, but the scent, that smell will always just make me feel sick. I just have a really bad scent memory with it. So I struggle a lot with fragrances that have that similar kind of freesia sea note. And this has that, and so does Lust for Sun. However, Lust for Sun is so beautiful, it's like I just don't even think about it anymore when I smell that. But if you don't have a problem with that, if you don't have a bad scent memory, you're going to love this. This is a beautiful, like, gorgeous fragrance. Beautiful for super hot weather, date night. Yeah, just feeling really feminine, feeling clean, feeling girly. Like, this is just going to make you feel like you got your shit together. It's beautiful. 10 out of 10 recommend. Okay, next up we've got one I've been really excited to get my hands on for a long time, and I finally did. It's by Michel Germain, and it's called Sugarful. And this is definitely like a completely different direction from the ones that I've shared so far. This is a really sugary, like candy, like it almost smells like runts. Sort of like a sweet spun sugar cotton candy vibe. It's really, really, really sweet. On paper, it's different from wearing it fully. I've only wear tested this one time, and the dry down was absolutely gorgeous. Up top, it can be it literally smells like strawberry runts. Like, it's a little bit intense up top just with the sweetness, but it does dry down absolutely beautiful. This is like a more youthful scent. This would work really well for just like a casual, maybe going out to lunch, running some errands. It's a very casual scent. This isn't something that I would necessarily wear out to dinner or to anything fancy. But it's a beautiful, easy reach if you just want to kind of smell sweet, smell like a snack without going into that like fall gourmand direction. Okay, next up we have none other than Delina La Rosee, of course. If you guys have been watching my channel for a bit, you know that I'm obsessed with the original Delina. I have decants of both La Rosee and Exclusive. You guys, when I went to Maine, I was so upset. I had only worn Delina Exclusive one time, maybe twice. I brought it to Maine. I was gonna like wear out the decant in Maine. Like, I just felt like it was so appropriate for like end of summer, coastal Maine, going out to dinner. Like, it's exquisite. And I got to Maine, got to my hotel room, I went to my stepbrother's house first. Got there, opened up my suitcase, and the decant had shattered in my Ziploc bag. Thank God that I put it in. Yeah, super disappointing. So anyways, I moved on to La Rosee because I also brought that with me. And this is beautiful, you guys. If you like the original Delina, but it's maybe like a little too tart for you, I just sprayed that all over my hand. This is going to be great. If you like aquatic, kind of watery, light scents, like this is absolutely stunning. It really brings forward the rose because you don't have that like tartness. You don't really have that incensey base, that you don't really have that vanilla. Like, it's more rose centric, and it's a lot lighter. It's a lot more wearable. It's a lot more fresh. It's a lot more watery. It's a little marine without being like C note-ish. It's just a really beautiful, very wearable, very feminine, very light rendition of Delina, minus that tartness, minus that like bam bam that you get with Delina, It's absolutely stunning, and I think it's beautiful for winding down summer, like the season we're in right now, where we're kind of in between summer, fall for us here in Texas, or if you live anywhere else in the South or anywhere in the world where it's still hot. This is absolutely beautiful. I would wear this out running errands. I would also wear this out on a date. It's very versatile. It's very crowd pleasing. You're gonna get compliments. It's gorgeous. All right, next up we have one that I am still struggling with. However, I put it on this list because I know everyone loves, it's very polarizing, but a lot of people love this, and I wanted to include it because I'm still giving it a chance, and I think it's an absolutely perfect fragrance for this time of year. This is Blanche Bete by Les Liquides Imaginaires. And this is primarily like a creamy, milky scent that to me just comes off really powdery and like laundry-esque, which is why I've been struggling with it. And there is a coconut note in here as well that's coming through. I think for me, I really struggle getting past this like dryer sheet kind of powdery thing that happens, but I can smell the deliciousness underneath. I don't know, I need to play with this a little bit more, but I'm including it on this list because I think it's absolutely perfect for this time of year as we move into cooler temperatures. I think this is going to be a perfect thing to wear at night as the temperatures are cooling down at night. It's also very comforting and cozy. This would be a great thing to put on like for Netflix and chill. And I also have heard some layering recommendations, so I'm really excited to start playing with this. I think one of them was Vanilla 28. Another one I believe was This Is Her. So I'm just going to kind of play with this a little bit more, but I did want to include it on this list because it's such a hit for so many. And again, it's just very, very appropriate for the season that we're in here in the South. Okay, we've got 3 more. One of them I don't have in person. I just realized that I didn't grab it, and I kind of got to like hurry up because I got shit to do. So I'm just going to talk to you about it. So it's the Hermes Jardin de la Nile, I think it's called. I'll put it down below here, and I'll put the notes here. This is a beautiful, like very green, fresh, not my usual wear, but very like green, fresh, crisp, kind of aquatic almost. I wore this in Vegas. When I went to Vegas, it was literally 120 degrees. Like we went to a pool party. It was literally 120 degrees. And like, I'm used to the heat. I live in Texas. Like I was just blown away at how hot it was. And this fragrance was perfect. It's super refreshing, super green. It has that kind of Hermes DNA. Very pretty, very like kind of French smelling, gorgeous, but very light also. It was refreshing to me, and it kind of made me feel cooled off versus like feeling cloying and heavy in that heat. So I did want to mention that. I really love that fragrance. You can get a sample, I believe, on FragranceNet or a decant. I think I got my decant through Royalty Scents, perhaps. Either Royalty or FragranceNet, but either way, I would definitely recommend checking it out if you like those kind of more green, crispy, refreshing fragrances. Okay, next up, we've got Mon Guerlain Intense. This is my first experience with one of the Mon Guerlains, which is surprising. But this one, again, I'll put the notes up here. This one has like a really interesting thing going on. I think there's some tonka. I think there's some cherry or maybe almond. There's some vanilla, maybe a touch of patchouli. It's interesting. It smells really fizzy. It has that kind of like cola vibe. It's a little bit powdery. It's a little bit boozy. It's just a very intricate fragrance. There's a lot of like complexity going on. And it's really, really beautiful. It has a very beautiful, strong base, which I think is coming from a patchouli note. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the notes. But yeah, this is gorgeous. I understand why this line is so popular. Like this is a beautiful, very sexy, very feminine, very grounded, very strong, complex, beautiful fragrance. I'm so excited to wear this. Now this is going to be the least of like the hot weather fragrances. But again, you know, as the weather starts to cool down, like maybe the first night where it's in the 70s, for example, which hasn't really happened yet here, this would be a gorgeous fragrance to wear like out to dinner on a date on a patio, like as the weather's cooling. Yeah, this is beautiful. And this is going to ride you out probably through fall, winter, spring. Like 10 out of 10 recommend. I'm super excited to blow through this decant, as I know I will be doing. All right, last but not least, we have from my absolute favorite house of all time. If you guys know, you know, I am obsessed. This is literally my favorite house. Like it's top of the line for me. And this was a new to me discovery. Very excited. Everything I try from this line I fall in love with. So this is Arquiste Sydney Rock Pool. Now you guys, this is like so realistic to the smell of Sydney in the summer, like along the cliffs. I forget the name, but the first time I went to Sydney, I got a Airbnb like right on the cliff there. There's a huge path. I think it goes for like 14 miles. And with jet lag, when I go to Australia, which is, I go frequently, usually once a year, when I go, I usually start waking up at 3:30, 4 a.m. because of the jet lag, but it gets, in the summertime, it gets so light out so early. People are sitting outside at cafes at 5:15 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. It's crazy. And so I would just walk out my Airbnb and I would just go for a run at like 4 in the morning. The sun would start coming up at 4:30 and I would just run and run and run and run along the ocean, along the cliffs. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's like my favorite thing to do when I go to Sydney. And this just brings me back to Sydney. It's so photorealistic of the ocean. It has a little bit of that like kind of skanky rubbery pool vibe, which I appreciate. It's got a little bit of suntan lotion quality, definitely a little floral. I don't know the exact floral This is beautiful. It doesn't do it justice spraying it on paper. It wears so much better on skin, but this is absolutely gorgeous. Again, I brought this to Maine when I went, and I wore this to the beach one of the days, and it was just absolutely stunning on the beach. I think it has a driftwood note or some sort of woody element in there. It wore so perfectly on my skin when I was sitting at the beach, watching the kids play in the water, kind of sweating, feeling the sun and just feeling the cool breeze. Like, it's just so beautiful. If you're into beachy kind of floral suntan scents, I would definitely check out Sydney Rock Pool. It's beautiful. It's a masterpiece. All of Arquiste fragrances, in my opinion, are just absolute masterpieces, so you've got to check this out. Okay, that does it for the fragrances. Before we hop off this video, though, I wanted to share with you guys some new layering tools that I'm super excited about. So about a year ago, maybe, a woman, Ernesta, from Brooklyn Dream, reached out to me and offered to send me some of her products. And of course I said yes. Ernesta is so sweet. We've emailed back and forth multiple times over the past year. She sent me multiple boxes of little goodies, and I've been really intending to give a review of her products and talk to you guys about them, but I also, first of all, had so much going on, but I also wanted to like fully experience them and wear them for a long time before sharing them with you. And I've been doing that. I've been wearing both the body butters and the body oils for about 6 months religiously now. And you guys, I can't say enough good things about Ernesta, her products, the company. So the company is called Brooklyn Dream. You can find her on Etsy. All the vowels are taken out of Brooklyn Dream, so it's like BKL. I'll post it down below. All of these are all natural. She makes body butters, she makes body oils, and they're all just like these perfect layering tools. Usually there's 2 or 3 notes in each one, usually 2 notes. And so it's perfect because you can like really pull and just like cater, whatever fragrance you're wearing for that day. You can match a body oil and a body butter, and it really helps not only moisturize your skin really well, but really elongate your fragrance. So the body oils are my favorite. The body butters are very heavy, just to give you a heads up. Like, they're not heavy, like thick, but they do, they're heavy. They're made with shea butter, I believe, and some other things. But they're so they're luxurious, like beautiful quality. I personally will use the body butters on my calves because I get really dry calves in the wintertime. But during the summer, these sit on my desk and I use them as hand lotion. I'm in my 40s. I'm starting to get like wrinkly hands, and this has been a godsend. This has been a godsend for my dry hands. So for me personally, the body butters work really well for just keeping my hands moisturized, and then I use the body oils to layer. But I just wanted to share with you guys some of these scents. So for the body butters, I have a million of them. We've got a coffee peach. This one's really good. Ginger vanilla, amazing. A bergamot jasmine, sandalwood musk. This is my second one of these. And then blackberry vanilla. I was layering this, since I have a bigger size of this, I was layering it with some vanilla fragrances. And then we've also got this apple vanilla, which this one I haven't tried yet. And then this magnolia tobacco is absolutely gorgeous. And then the body oils, oh my gosh, you guys, I have so many. So I've got rose amber, which I layer with like all of my rose oud fragrances. And then we've got pineapple cedar, which I layer with House of Bo Lamar frequently. We've got tangerine musk. I blew through this one because it just smelled absolutely divine. Cranberry rose, I've been layering this with all of my Delinas. And then we've got honeysuckle sandalwood, which I've only worn once. And then this lemon fig I blew through kind of quick as well. This actually paired really well with Moschino's I Love Love with that kind of citrusy punch. And then she just sent me these 4 new ones, which I'm super excited about. This ginger bergamot I have layered with Molecule 1 plus ginger. That worked really well. We've got this banana cedar, which I have yet to use. I'm really interested in that new Navitas. I think it's Absolutio. I want to get that and layer it with the banana cedar. And then we've got a big size of the tangerine musk, which I'm so grateful because I blew through that other one so fast. And then we've got this peach and rum, which I actually had a smaller size of, and I went through that really quick, and I'm excited for this as well. So you guys, you got to check out Ernesta's shop. I don't have a discount code for you or anything, but her products are very, very well priced. She's got just such a great personality. She's such a beautiful soul, And I know, like, I've read the reviews on Etsy. I know her customer service is amazing. Her shipping, like everything, her store is just incredible. I also know that she does some local farmers markets in North Carolina. So I'm going to link her shop down below. I know she has a couple farmers markets coming up. If you're watching this video, like at the time that I upload it, she's got a couple farmers markets coming up in North Carolina. And so if you click on her Etsy shop down below and go to like the About section, you'll be able to see the list of farmers markets that she has coming up. So I highly recommend checking out her products. Excellent moisturizers and layering tools without breaking the bank, without putting a ton of chemicals onto your skin. Like 10 out of 10, highly recommend. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I'm so excited to get back into action. I'm going to be dropping way more videos for you moving forward. I'm so grateful that you're here. If this is your first time here and you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and subscribe. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on any of the fragrances that I shared. And also if you have any fragrances that you're absolutely loving during this kind of warm fall transition period. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.